I was lucky enough to take part in the Reischauer Scholars Program, which is a program for American high schoolers to learn about Japanese history and culture and Japan-US relations. One of the really cool things is starting conversations, connecting on Facebook or Instagram means that I'm still in touch with people. I think that there's something really special about building those friendships. Our two countries have been interacting for over a century and a half on a very deep cultural level. To me, that cultural relationship, the fact that our countries are always borrowing from each other to build our own senses of what life is like in Japan and in America. There's plenty of research out there indicating that prejudice tends to come when we don't know somebody from the group we're being prejudiced against, and that building a sense of what life is like in Japan helps break down a lot of that.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Tuvia. How are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Did some work today?
Yeah.
So I'm Jewish. My family's been in America for about 5 generations, depending on which branch you trace back. Partially because of my Jewish heritage, I think it's really important for me to put myself in situations where I'm learning from and about other groups that have faced hardship when they arrived in America as immigrants.
Xenophobia. Now, mostly what I'm looking at is the history of these previous immigration scares that have resulted in both violence and legal exclusion and discrimination.
Do my part to push back against prejudice and ignorance by changing how I act, by learning more to give myself more cultural context. And so I'm working with the Islamic Networks Group, which is a great organization that does education about Islam and other world religions. And that's been great because I've gotten a chance to work with mostly Muslims.
Tuvia, as a Jewish student working for our organization, really adds a whole kind of array of things. First of all, Tuvia in and of himself is just a phenomenal person to be around and work with. And I think his Jewish background really speaks to this idea that Muslims and Jews and just people of different religions don't get along. They can't kind of see eye to eye. When Tuvia comes in every day to the office and we kind of work together to promote this sense of peace and understanding that we're trying to encourage others to have.
For some of them, I was the first Jewish person they'd really interacted with. As I pick up knowledge about Ramadan and they pick up knowledge about Passover, as we talk about different ways that fasting works, it helps all of us get more cultural context, and it helps all of us move with more confidence into other situations with, for me, with Muslim people, and for them with Jewish people, having more of that bedrock knowledge.
Tuvia just shows perspectives of things that you can never see before, and not in just terms of how we're both different religions, but also just his thought process.
I try to find those situations to put myself in where I'll be learning just by being around people who are different from me, because it widens my horizons, my view of the world, and makes me a person who acts with more context.
I want to definitely look into other religions. I'm a Muslim, but I would love to learn about Jewish culture and stuff like that.
I'm one person, my friend is one person. In the grand scheme of things, the two of us individually aren't all that important, but it's so many people building those bridges that makes change.